you animate hair? So I'm in the process of animating all these different characters who are on the intros to all of my videos. Now, one of the characters, Faceplant, this little mermaid, has long hair. Now, I've never animated that before, so it was kind of a challenge to figure out how to even do that. I made a lot of mistakes in that process, and I want to help you guys avoid all those mistakes. So we'll skip through all of the different things that I did and show you the things that worked. And I'll even show you how Avatar: The Last Airbender actually really mentally helped me out with figuring out what I was doing. It's pixel time! Woohoo! Hey guys, I'm Andrew Robinson of Robinson Pixels. Let's go ahead and pull up Faceplant. You saw her in the intro just a second ago, but here's an actually good look at her. I had drawn this originally back in 2023. Now, I am a lot better now than I was back then, so I did go ahead and make some upgrades to her before going in and animating her. You can see I reshaped her hair. That was the biggest thing for me. I felt like this hair was a little too flat and it didn't frame her face very well. I changed the colors, of course, for a little bit better contrast, and I did add in these little tail highlights here. Let's go ahead and get her animated. I like to break things into stuff. So we are gonna start out with stuff number 1, falling, easy version. Now, I started out with a process that I call pixel sketching, and that's just where I'm using a low opacity brush to kind of draw the shapes over and over as they kind of come into life. It's a little bit more like you're really drawing when you kind of do art this way. And then I go ahead and color in the flats. Now you'll notice in her pose here, she is falling completely without any form of grace, right? And I just think that's funny for a mermaid because we always picture them typically so, you know, perfect and whatnot. So I kind of like this and think it's silly. I went ahead and made some extra frames for her animation. Again, not really knowing what I was doing, just knowing that the hair would look kind of flippy floppy. Let's go ahead and see what that flippy floppy hair looks like in action. It moves, it works, you know? In motion, you're not even really gonna be able to tell that it's not all that good. So let's go ahead and take a look at that. Yeah, I mean, if she's just flying by, you don't have to be the best ever at things to just kind of do it, right? So don't let that hold you back. Now, for me being me though, I still wanted to redo it because I'm trying to make a video to teach people how to do stuff. Let's go ahead into stuff number 2, falling, but harder. So this is good, I think, but I have a few problems with it. So what I'm not a big fan of is this kind of a bang line right here. And I don't really like this mouth attempt that I made here, and the animation itself was a little choppy. So here's the sheet that I came up with. What I was trying to focus on with the animation was just that her hair would be kind of moving back and forth, right? And the tip of the hair would follow a little bit slower than the bulk. And the hair starts to flow this way, and this tip kind of goes a little bit slower behind. And then it kind of stalls out here in the middle-ish, and then it starts going the other way, again with the hair tip flowing behind. Let's see what it looks like in motion. Okay, yeah, I mean, I think this works. Let's take a look at them both together. Honestly, they're both pretty decent, I think. This one, of course, is a lot more choppy. This one's a lot more smooth. Keep in mind, too, the amount of time that you're wanting to spend on whatever you're doing. This first one took, I mean, I don't know, 15, 20 minutes with me just kind of winging it. This second one took like hours of me kind of trying it and retrying it. But let's see what they actually look like when they're falling. Yeah, okay. Again, I think they're both fine. I'll be sticking with this big fluffier version just because I worked really hard on it. But let's go ahead and jump into another action here in stuff number 3, the faceplant. I think it's funny for this mermaid to fall, you know, real gracelessly and have to kind of recover. But first, we'll have to find her end goal in this specific part of the animation. So I went ahead and drew that one in. She is landing in a faceplant, right? That's where we want her to end up being because it's silly. But we have to find the frames of animation between here and there. Now, in order to do that, I used something called onion skins. Now, those don't actually record in my time lapses, so I took a screenshot here on this next page. This is actually what it was looking like while I was drawing it myself. This is kind of the middle frame. I have that falling sprite there, and her faceplant sprite is right here. And then I'm able to draw in between. I don't even use the pixel sketching process that I do in the other versions of my my art, because I have those other onion skins on top to kind of guide me. The important thing was just making sure in this process that her hair is moving slower than the character does. So her hair is moving right along behind her. And I'll mention too, like this sprite on its own, again, not super good if you're just looking at one frame of animation, but I have learned more and more in this process that each individual frame in an animation doesn't really matter nearly as much as the fluidity of the motion. So let's take a look at all of that together. Plop. Plop. I still feel like it's missing a little something. I won't figure that out until kind of towards the end of the video. Now, before we get to all that, it's time for stuff number 4, getting up. But she's got to get from this faceplant pose up into this nice pose where she's kind of recovered herself. So in the first portion of her animation, she's moving really slowly and kind of irritated, like, can you believe that this happened to me? And then kind of swing her, I was gonna say legs, swing her tail? Is the whole thing a tail? Mermaid flipper? Butt. Anyway, so she's got to sit up and then kind of swing herself up into the right position. And as far as what her hair is, I got it going kind of behind her because I wanted to make sure when it pops out, it's really visible, as if she kind of, you know, does a little motion there, and that's kind of what triggers her hair to start kind of flapping. All right, but how does that look in motion? Well, let's just take a look. There we go. See, she falls down, she sits up, she looks over her shoulder, plop out. All right, let's go ahead into what I think is like the coolest part of this whole process. Stuff number 5, hair flow. I was kind of driving myself crazy because I could not figure out how to make her just doing this nice little pose and have her hair flapping. My brain just would not wrap itself around it. So y'all let me know in the comments what you find the most difficult to animate, because if it's not hair, I'm real worried about whenever I get to it. When most people are teaching how to do hair animation, and this advice seems to work for a lot of people, is they say you should treat it like a sine wave, right? And I do think that that is a good way to learn it. It makes sense. So the hair flips up and then it kind of flips down. But I just didn't get it until I found the key. This key. It's a rectangle. This rectangle saved my life. Specifically when I figured out that I could put that rectangle with Avatar. His name is Aang. With Aang right here. This is the thing that changed my life with animating hair. It's insane how much of a difference this made for me. All you have to do is add in this other key right here. They are obviously just circles, but in my mind, these are air blasts that Aang would shoot. If you haven't seen Avatar, he's an airbender. That's why it's in the title. But he shoots air out of his hands. And if you think about it like that, that makes a lot more sense to me. So I put this rectangle kind of on this character to be her hair, and then I drew in these different like blue air balls. And what I did was I actually, on each frame of the animation, which is only 3 frames, I scooted the blue forward each frame just a couple of pixels. And this is the important part, I merged the 2 layers together. So the blue layer and the purple layer right here, they're the same layer. I merged them. And then all I did was I deleted the blue. I had to go through and actually clean it up. Obviously this doesn't look like hair, but it was a great starting point that allowed me to then go in and draw it out as hair. So right here, originally I had a blue circle here and one up here and one here and one here, and then over here and here and here. And so let me show you in action, this is what it looks like. See? How about that? That's all you have to do. You don't have to go and break your brain for multiple weeks in a row trying to draw every single frame. If you can, that's cool, and I'm glad you're good at it. But if you're not, and you're new, you can do little cheats like this, and it works. Now, I mentioned earlier, too, that part of the animation was missing just a little something. So let's go ahead and add in that in stuff number 6. Finishing touches. So just as a refresher, this is where I thought that she was missing something. Right now, what's happening is she's going immediately from this falling pose into this kind of a landing faceplant pose. I just felt like it would make a lot more sense if the character had some impact when she hit the ground before that happened. So I drew in a few more frames for that. Didn't take a lot, but it does make an impact on the animation. So essentially I just took what we had here in this falling frame and kind of just like squashed her butt a little bit, just enough for your brain to be like, see that she's squishing down. And I also, during that process, because she is hitting the ground, had to have her hair in motion as well. So I had that hair kind of falling down to go behind her. And without further ado, let's see, let me make a pun. Let's see Faye Pop make a splash. Except there's not any water. Splonk. Whee! Splonk. Whoa! Splosh. And that's it. 2 characters down and 3 to go. Now, if you missed the first part in this series, it was one where I took this little farmer guy and did a whole animation where he is falling down with style. So if you want to learn how to do that and go over some animation principles like squash and stretch, you can check out this video right over here and follow along for more pixel and follow along for more I can't say it. And follow along for more pixel practice. How do you animate hair? You see, I'm in the process of reanimating like corpses. Ooh.